Hello, I'm Kevin Hunter. Remember when people rented cars mainly for vacations or business travel? Well, times have changed. The car rental industry is growing by leaps and bounds, with airport rentals historically being the main revenue driver. However, that segment has remained virtually flat over the past decade and a half. The industry's growth is due almost entirely to the explosion of the home city rental market, renting from a neighborhood location. Those renting from neighborhood locations do so for a number of different reasons. However, it doesn't matter if you're an airport renter or a home city renter. I've got a list of tips compiled by Edmunds that are designed to help make your car rental experience as pain-free as possible for your bank account. Number 1. Search the internet. This seems like a no-brainer, but as is the case with many purchases, you'll find the best rates on the internet. Shop around. Buying online will afford you the luxury of seeing what rates are on any vehicle your heart desires without the inconvenience of having a salesperson breathing down your neck. Also, many companies offer special discounts to people who rent online. Rates will obviously vary from company to company depending on vehicle availability, location, and other factors. But rates aren't the only variable to consider. Also look at the hours of operation because some companies close early on weekends. Depending on your schedule, this might be crucial for you. Number 2. Go with a weekend rate. Rates are typically cheaper on weekends. At one company that was surveyed, you could rent a subcompact on a weekday for $64.99. When we opted for a weekend rental, the figure dropped to a far more reasonable $22.99. If you've got some flexibility with your rental arrangements, opt for a weekend rental. Your pocketbook will be very grateful. Number 3. Weekly does it. Weekend rates are great, but better than weekend rates are weekly rates, and they're usually the best of all. At one company, a subcompact went from a weekday rate of $56.99. That same car could be rented on a weekly basis for $259, a savings of more than 30% if you used the vehicle for all 7 days, and more than 10% if you returned it after 5 days. If you plan on using the vehicle for 5 days or more, just choose the weekly rate. Number 4. Think twice about insurance. When renting a car, you'll be offered a collision damage waiver, a CDW, and a loss damage waiver, LDW. The first covers you in the event of a collision, while the second covers any loss to the rental company. Both kinds of coverage are a good idea, but not if they duplicate coverage already included in your own insurance policy. Most insurance policies offer liability coverage to protect you if you injure someone in an accident. Some also cover rental car damage via comprehensive and collision coverage. Check your policy or call your insurance agent to verify coverage before signing up for a vehicle. If you're renting the car with a credit card, your card provider may also pay for vehicle damages associated with an accident. So remember to contact your card company ahead of time to make sure. There's one caveat to be aware of. The collision damage waiver covers loss of use, the charge levied by the rental car company to cover its lost income when the vehicle is out of service. In some states, auto insurance policies don't cover this loss, so if you have an accident, you may wind up having to pay this charge out of your own pocket. As such, getting the collision damage waiver may be a good idea. Number 5. Book your car early. This is not a cliche statement. The early bird usually gets it cheaper than everyone else. Rates depend on how many vehicles the company has available at any given time, and the earlier the rental is made, the cheaper it tends to be. Reserve your car at least a week in advance. Number 6. Think twice about prepaid gas. Renters generally have two choices when it comes to fuel. You can pay for a full tank of gas in advance and bring the vehicle back empty, or something less than full, or you can opt to refuel it yourself before returning. Rental car companies suggest that paying in advance will add convenience and that the low rates offered will save you money. Well, they're right on the first part, but wrong on the second. Prepaying will cause you to pay for more fuel than you've actually consumed. From a financial standpoint, prepaying is a bad idea unless you're certain that you'll use the full tank. Also be aware that some companies charge a premium rate per gallon for the gas they provide. Number 7. Be careful of upgrades to larger vehicles. Sometimes rental car companies will offer free upgrades to larger vehicles. They will do this mainly because the compacts tend to be in high demand. This sort of upgrade may seem like a great deal for you. If having a larger vehicle will improve your rental experience, then take the upgrade. But if you have no need for the extra space, it's cheaper to decline. Most, not all, of the larger vehicles will burn more gas, so that free upgrade isn't actually free. You could end up paying for it at the pump. Number 8. Steer clear of airport pickups. Picking up a rental car at the airport can be more expensive due to taxes and fees. Try looking at nearby neighborhood locations to save money. A recent Travelocity study showed that renting at an airport costs 11.5% more on average than renting at a neighborhood location. Texas airports were the chief offenders, but airports in states like Arizona, Ohio, Maryland, Missouri, and New Mexico also cost renters more in taxes and fees. Number 9. If you have kids, seat them yourself. If you're traveling with a little one, you can save yourself some coin by bringing your own child safety seat. Some rental car companies charge $10 a day for child safety rental. Obviously, this can tack a significant amount to your car rental expenses. So if you're able to, bring your own child safety seat. If you're renting a minivan though, know that some rental minivans include integrated child safety seats at no extra cost. And finally, number 10, join the car club. Many of the larger companies offer club membership in which members pay a yearly fee in exchange for certain perks and privileges. These clubs can save you money with benefits like free rental days and airline miles, but you'll likely only see savings if you're a frequent renter. If you fall into this category and use rental vehicles more than occasionally, join the club. Those are the top 10 tips for getting the best rates on a car rental as compiled by Edmunds. If you happen to be a car buyer in the market, check out my other two videos. One is titled The Top 10 Tips for Car Buyers, and the other is The Top 10 Tips for Cheaper Car Insurance. Make sure you give us a like, put a comment on the video, and remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm Kevin Hunter. Thanks for watching.